guys? It's Chris and Aaron, and today we're gonna put it to the test and talk about the age-old question: what's better, soft or hard?
Water containers, that is. So in this video, we're gonna do a pros and cons list between the hard-sided and soft-sided water containers.
Make sure you stick around to the end of the video because we are going to share with you our winner and why we chose it. This is the 2-gallon size. They also make this in a 1.3 gallon and a 2.7 gallon size. Aaron really wanted to get the 2.7 for us. However, when we were shopping for this, it was during the COVID pandemic spike where everybody was stocking up and all the preppers were prepping their water bags. So we were lucky to get this 2-gallon. The number one pro, in our opinion, on this bag is its form. It's collapsible. You can condense it down when it's not in use, which is huge. So, this takes up barely any space. You can slide it into any cupboard or any little groove that you have available, and you put it out of sight, out of mind. Look how small it is. Another pro for this bag is that it's see-through. So if you're using it, you can easily just take a glance over and see where the water level is. So there's no guessing on if it's nearly empty or not. These are fairly durable. We've had ours for about 6 months and we haven't had any rips or tears or any gouges. The handle is pretty reinforced well. We make it a point to not hold it by this when we're filling it up. We always hold it by this when we're filling it up just because this probably isn't intended to be held weight with. So we are very mindful of that and we haven't had any issues with it. Another pro for this bag is that they are cheap. We bought this on Amazon, a 3-pack for $14.99. So $5 a bag, you can't really beat that price. So because these are only 2 gallons, it makes them incredibly easy to fill. Oftentimes you might be filling this in a parking lot or a rest area and you need to carry it back to your rig. So 2 gallons, this is about 16.5 pounds total when it's full, which is very manageable to carry. Also, because it's clear and you can see the water level, you can see when it's getting full so you don't have that overflow disaster everywhere. So I really like these because they're super easy to fill and carry back to the van.
Now for a couple cons to this bag. While this is fairly durable and like Chris said, we've had it for 6 months with no issues, it's not going to be as durable as the hard-sided plastic one. So it's pretty good, but probably will eventually puncture or leak, and I'm always concerned with putting this anywhere besides the shower or a wet bath, and because something could easily just jab right in this and we're gonna have 2 gallons of water just rushing all over the van. Also, if you can see with these bags, they're kind of hard to clean and dry on the inside. So they're starting to kind of yellow a little bit, and this black residue there is actually carbon from our water filter with the hose that I didn't let run out clear before I started filling the bag with a new filter. So that got in here and it's been in there ever since. But you can see there's still droplets of water inside this bag and we haven't used them for a couple weeks. So we do store them at first to drain them upside down, let all the water flow out, but for some reason there's always a little bit of water left inside. So let's go fill these bags up and see what they look like with water in them.
Perfecto!
Another con for these bags is you can't really use them to fill up your freshwater tank. I mean, you could, but it's just not practical. At only 2 gallons and no spout, it'd be really hard to get the water, at least in our setup. Some of them might be a little different, but you can see for us, it's doable, but not very practical. And the very last con I have for these bags is that you kind of need a lot of them if you want to carry a lot of extra water. So this is 6 gallons for us, and we found that that just wasn't enough. And you could imagine if we had another 3-pack of these, 6 of these bags inside of our tiny dry bath, that's a lot. So let's check out the hard-sided water container and see how that one holds up to the bags.
Pro number 1 of the hard case is its form. So this is 6 gallons. These combined are 6 gallons, and you can see how this is like upright in form, rigid. This takes a lot less of a footprint, which is great for our tiny little wet bath. This takes less space on the floor, and it's out of our way, not quite obnoxious like these are. The second pro for this one is because it's nice and rigid, it has a lot more durability in our opinion, and we don't have to worry as much about being clumsy and accidentally stubbing your toe on it and gouging water everywhere. Like, this just feels like it's gonna hold up pretty well to the test of time. Pro number 3 is this one's also very affordable. We did get it on Amazon again, and we spent about $14.50 on this one about a month ago. So gallon for gallon, it actually came in a little bit cheaper than the soft versions. And another pro is that these are available in different sizes. You can get different gallons. You can also get different configurations for your shapes. So maybe you want one that's more of a shorter cube style shape. You can find that. You can find different colors, different brands, whatever it is to kind of customize it for your liking. And for our final pro for this hard-sided water container is it comes with this really nice spout. So if you're pouring it into something else, or if you do need to top off your fresh water tank, it makes it really easy. Especially if you have multiple containers, you could really top off your water tank. And it has this little airflow thing for pouring, and then also it has double handles. So when you are carrying it and it's heavy and you're pouring it, it's really nice to be able to lift it and hold onto it from the bottom. So those are really nice features. So let's hear what Negative Nancy has to say about this container.
What did she just say about me? So the biggest negative on this thing is its size and form factor. If you need to store this full time in your RV, it's always there. And you can see it's a decent size, and especially if you had 2 or 3 of these things and you're in a small van, small RV, small trailer, storage can be definitely something that you need to think about. Another small negative about this particular container is that it is top heavy. So this rectangle shape is gonna give you a little bit of that movement, especially while traveling. So another thing that you gotta consider. And if you got a lead foot wife like I do, who knows what's gonna happen? Could wind up in the kitchen. You might find it in the bedroom. Could be through the front windshield.
Could be at your head.
Probably the second biggest complaint I would have about a container like this is the weight. So this one's 6 gallons and weighs about 50 pounds when it's full. They make them even bigger with 7 gallons, maybe even more. So weight is an issue and something that you got to keep in mind when picking out your water containers. And the last tiny little complaint about this particular water container is that you cannot see through it. So if your water line is down, you're not gonna 100% know where it is. It's not the biggest thing. You can still kind of pick it up and see what's in there, but you don't have that easy visual of how much water you have left. So those are our comparisons between the hard-sided and the soft-sided water bags, and let's see which one we chose. I know the suspense is killing you guys, so which one did we choose and which one are we going to continue to use for our full-time RV living?
Forever.
Drum roll. So we are actually going to use both of these containers or styles of containers, and we'll tell you a little bit more why. As we mentioned, we started out with the 3 2-gallon bags early on, and what we were trying to do was extend our boondocking. So we were trying to get out and be able to do a full week off grid. Our freshwater tank is 26 gallons. And so we picked up those 3 bags, and that allowed us to stay a few more days off grid. It worked really well. A lot of the pros and cons between what we just talked about are the reasons that were going through our head And one of the big ones was we couldn't get a big square hard-sided container inside of our wet bath. So for us, the water bag solution sounded like the perfect solution. We could fill them up when we need them. When we don't, we store them away in the closet, out of sight, out of mind. Well, fast forward 6 months later, and we found that 6 gallons wasn't enough for us, so we wanted more. And we really didn't want to get another 3 bags or more. We couldn't really even fit more bags inside of our wet bath. I came across this tall rectangle 6-gallon container, and I just thought maybe by looking at the dimensions, it's gonna fit in this nice little corner cubby of our Class B bathroom. And I think most Class Bs have the same style of bathroom. So what we now do is have a permanent home for that hard-sided container, and then the bags stay in the closet until we're ready to fill them up and head out to go boondocking.
Let's head inside so you can actually see what we're talking about and get a good visual. So come on in here and I'll show you. This is the little nook that Aaron was talking about that he thought it would fit pretty perfectly in, and it practically does fit perfect. It doesn't quite go flush against the wall because of this tapers here, but it fits nice on the floor and it does the trick. So what we do to secure it while Leadfoot is driving is we use this little knobby thingy. I don't know what it is, but we just basically loop it around here and hook it to this. So if it were to, you know, fall forward a little bit, the bungee holds it against the wall and it bounces back. Now we still do have some space here on the floor where we can stack those additional bladders for the trips that we really want to stack up. And this is going to sit here all the time. And then as soon as we get to our boondocking location, we take those soft bladders out of the bathroom and we put them up on our WeatherTech mats, because we spin those chairs around and we really use that front space for storage once we park it at camp. And what we really like about these little bags is once we start filling up our Berkey with them, is that one bag typically lasts us one day. So 1 bag per day, in and out, we use them, we flatten them, and then we are out of sight with them. So it's like we're grateful to have the extra water to get a few more days of drinking. So there are a lot of different water systems out there, but what's most important to us is that we have enough drinking water, and we don't ever want to feel like we can't drink enough water.
So with the addition of 12 gallons plus our 26-gallon freshwater tank, we get very close to 40 gallons of water that we can now use while boondocking.
Getting up there.
And if you throw in our, half-gallon water containers that we have, and plus we store water in the fridge, I like to say we're at 40 gallons. So this setup is what is working for us right now. I know we've done some videos in the past on those water bags and some of our water boondocking solutions that we're figuring out, but everything's kind of evolving, and the more you find that works for you, you just kind of evolve into that system. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.
Oh, and stay tuned for an upcoming video that we're gonna do on our travel Berkey. And our final pro for this hard-sided one. And our final pro for this device is...
What do you call it? A device.
What should I call it?
Not a device.
What is it?
A hard-sided water bladder thing? Not a device.
Okay. I'm putting in double shift today.
I know, I'm worried that you're gonna fall asleep right there standing up.
Gallon for gallon than what we paid for the soft cased water holders.
Come on.
What?
You're gonna go with that.
Soft bladders? What do you call them?
The soft case water bladders.
Okay. Hard-sided container. So the second pro on this is its durability. Because it's so hard and rigid, I don't feel like I'm gonna clumsily step into this in the middle of the night and puncture anything. Nope, I can't get personal. I'm accident prone. I'm gonna trip on it sometime.
Another negative thing about this particular container is that it is a little top heavy. And so you're gonna have to be careful when transporting it, especially when it's full. And if you have a hot foot, lead wife. Hot foot, hot.
Did you smell me hot?
Lead foot.
Rock the Jasper, rock the Jasper.